welcome to my presentation about the Kawai MP7SE. The reason I do this presentation is because I think this is a really good piano. To me, is the best or one of the best stage pianos on the market. And I think there are some features that I have not found in videos in internet that I want to show you, because maybe this can make can help you to make a decision about which piano to buy. Okay, the first thing about this piano is that you have 256 sounds. With 256 sounds, you can do many things, because you can mix sounds and get very good results. It's metal finish, good in the sides, which is a bit heavy because it's 22.5 kilograms, but on the other side it's very stable when you play. And with the RH3 action from Kawai, the way you play, it's amazing. It's amazing because you can express whatever you want with details and with strength, and this is something you cannot do with all pianos. Okay, so afterwards I will compare with the competitors from the MP7, and I will tell you why I think this is the best option. The sound I like most is the EX Concert Grand, which is this one. Because I think it matches with most kind of music, even though the sound that is supposed to be the star sound for this model is the SK, Shigeru Kawai sound, but I think this is more for classical music. Well, I go back to the EX because I like it more. And now, based on this sound, because we have, of course, more sounds, we have the SK5, we have upright piano, honky-tonk, old pianos, pop pianos, and so on. Let's concentrate on the EX Concert Grand, which is a standard, which is also maybe the one which is more similar to Yamaha kind of sound. Now we have here 4 faders with the possibility to use 4 sounds at the same time, or mix 2, 3, or the 4. So I'm going to add strings, okay? Warm strings. Now I can also add a second voice, which is, for example, a string pad together with the strings. Now I'm going to add a third voice, which is a human voice. We can here move the fader volume up and down. Once you have decided, for example, for a setup and you like it, you can save it in a registration in the setup section. So you can mix all kind of sounds, because you have 256 sounds to mix, and get very different results for different scenarios of music. So now I'm going to show you some registrations I have done, so quickly we can see how this piano can sound. Okay, let's go to the setup, and for example, let's go to this one I like, okay, which is piano with kind of bells, or however you want to call it, and sounds like this. Let's go, for example, for another setup, this one. Another I call Titanic. Another one is like New Age. Another one. Let's go now and move to the electronic pianos and to the pads. Okay, so as you can see, you can do a lot of mixes, and even you can, for example, you want an ARP, you can have an ARP. Or you can have a guitar. So, this is about the registrations. Then you have also a recorder. You have, of course, inputs for MIDI, for audio input. Here you have an audio input. You can regulate the volume for the audio input. And mainly, I think the piano sound, it's great. The piano with strings mixing, it's wonderful. And the possibility that you have with the key action to express what you feel, it's something I have not found in any other piano, and I have tried all the brands. And now I'm going to explain why I think this is the best option for stage piano. If we compare the MP7SE with the MP11, which is the top of the range of the MP family, the MP7 is 1,390 euros in Thomann right now, and the MP11SE is 2,135. Okay, you got a better key action in the MP11, but in the MP11 you get 40 sounds. In the MP7SE you have 256 sounds. So there is a huge difference where the MP7, being cheaper, gets much more sounds. But also the weight is 22.5 kilos here, and it's 34 kilos in the MP11. So if you want to jig, the MP11 is really heavy, and the MP7 is not light, but at least you can move easier than the MP11. So I don't find, in general, I don't find a good reason to buy the MP11 unless you are a really professional classical pianist and you want something which is almost like an acoustic piano. On the other hand, I think this is a much better option. Okay, the MP7. If we compare it with the lower series, which is ES series, the 920, which has been launched about 1 year ago, the 920 costs 200 euros more than the MP7. It costs 1,590 euros in the market. Has 38 sounds, like the MP11, 38 versus 256 of the MP7. Weights 17 kilos, this is better than the 22 kilos here, but it's plastic. Plastic, it has speakers and Bluetooth, but it's plastic. And this means that for stage, it's not good because the plastic is not as strong as the metal. The feeling you have with the faders is that it's like a toy. It's really cheap plastic. It's not. You don't have the feeling to have like these faders, which are thicker, which are have more separation. Here it's like you buy like a top synthesizer, and the other is like a cheap piano for home. So I don't understand how they can make a piano that costs 200 more euros than this one, which is a professional piano, and they put 38 sounds. At least they should put the 256 sounds like this one, and the speakers and the Bluetooth, but not charging 200 more euros than the MP7. So I don't think this is a good option if you have the MP7. because you pay more and get less. The only reason you can buy it is for home. If you want to play the piano, then it's a great piano, but not comparing it with the MP7, okay? Let's go with the Yamaha CP88, 2,150 euros, 57 sounds, 17 kilos. Okay, the kilos again is better. It's like the 920. The 57 sounds versus 256, it's a big difference. And the price, of course, it's also like 700-800 euros more expensive. And the key action for Yamaha, for example, myself, I don't like it as much as the Kawai key action, because it's more strong, it's more, you get more tired playing Yamaha. So the dynamics playing in Kawai and the expression I can have in Kawai, I am not able to have it in Yamaha. Okay, so that's the reason I will choose the MP7 versus the Yamaha CP88. If we compare it with the Nord Grand is using the same keypad than the Kawai MP7, the RH3. They buy it from Kawai. So you get the same feeling when you play, okay? The price is 3,166 versus the Kawai 1,390. So it's about 2.5 times more expensive. 2.5 times more expensive. You don't get Kawai sounds because Kawai, if you want a Kawai sound, you need to buy a Kawai. It's not like with other brands, you can buy the sounds and download sounds from Yamaha, from other brands, but not from Kawai. And the weight is 21 kilos versus 22.5, so it's almost the same weight. So again, it's very clear. To me, makes much more sense to buy the MP7 than the Nord Grand, unless you want to load external sounds, and for you is very important, this function, and then the Nord, of course, has this option because the Kawai doesn't have this option to load external sounds. So after comparing the number of sounds, the price, the finish of the product, the quality of the finish of the product, and the key action, that's why I really love the MP7SE. And as you have seen before, you can make a lot of mixtures of sounds, and it sounds great. Really sounds great. I think so. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.